It's 6:30. You're all set to begin.
All right, we'll get started then. Thanks. Okay, so welcome everybody. This is the Hyannis Main Street Waterfront Historic District Commission. To all persons deemed interested or affected by the Town of Barnstable's Hyannis Main Street Waterfront Historic District Commission ordinance under Chapter 112, Article 3 of the Code of Town of Barnstable, you are hereby notified that a meeting is being held at Town Hall 367 Main Street, Hyannis, Mass. Selectmen's Conference Room, second floor, 6:30 p.m. Wednesday, July 16th, 2025. All public hearings and other matters anticipated by the chair listed below may be acted upon. This meeting of July 16th, 2025 is being recorded and broadcast on the Town of Barnstable's Government Access Channel in accordance with MGL Chapter 30A, Section 20. The chair must inquire as to whether anyone else is recording this meeting and if so, to please make their presence known. Take it I have no takers on that one. Okay, so if you could please silence or put them on vibrate your cell phones or anything. And I'm going to just double check mine. Yep. Okay, so we're good. Okay, calling the meeting to order. Commissioner Perry Wentworth. Here. Commissioner Conrad Watson did let us know he was not able to come. Commissioner Kevin Matthews notifies he was not able to come. Commissioner Tom Doherty. Here. Commissioner Jennifer Hinckley Needham did notify she was unable to come. Commissioner Matthew Clark. Here. Commissioner Laura Cronin. Here. Commissioner Jack Kay. Here. Commissioner Cornelius Crowley did notify he was unable to come. And I am Cheryl Powell, Chair, and I am, I'm going to curse myself out for it. Okay, so we have 1, 2, we have 6, just want to make sure. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All members are voting tonight unless you have a conflict or some other matter. I want to welcome our Town Council Liaison. Always happy to have you. Charles Bloom, thank you very much. If staff could please make their presence known.
Karen Pina, Admin Assistant, Planning and Development.
Jim Comfort, Director of Planning and Development.
Thank you very much. Okay, so others to acknowledge at this stage. Nothing on trainings tonight unless anyone has any questions. Again, please make sure you're up to date on the conflict of interest. Commissioner Kay, thank you so much for sending notice that you had updated yours. Excellent. Nothing on awards tonight. If there's no objections, we are going to do the correspondence with the relevant applications. If that's okay. No objections on that, then that will be the case when we're done. Okay, so first up is Theodore Zambellis, 379 South Street, Hyannis, map 308, parcel 218, with regard to solar panels. This is a matter that has been continued from the July 2nd. Is there anyone here who is not here for July 2nd? Cannot vote. It has not more than I don't think so. Okay? All right, so everybody can vote. All right, you're up. Thank you. Thank you for signing in.
You're welcome. Good evening. My name's Steve Kelly. I represent Sunrun tonight. We're a solar company that does a fair amount of work in Barnstable. We have a project right down the street at 379 South Street. It has panels over quite a few of the planes. We have 28 total panels that we're proposing. I was just down at the house and 5 of those panels are going to get removed because the planes are not adequate. They are panels towards the back of the house that are probably visible from Pine Street. I'm not sure about from South Street, but I'm going to get those 5 panels removed because of the condition of the roof. We use a black on black panel, meaning a black frame with a black matte finish. We did right over here at the corner of Pearl with a black panel also. I believe it's a little bit different, but we're acutely aware of the need for the black on black panel and matte finish. Some of the panels will be visible from the road. We do have all square/rectangular panels, arrays. They're all complete. We don't have any missing a panel in a corner or one jutting out someplace. They're all symmetric arrays. We do our best to hide all the conduit that we can, and that is our proposal.
Commissioners, what we'll do is we'll ask the commissioners if there's any questions they have with regards to the presentation. I will then open it up to public comment. We'll come back for deliberation and see if there's anything else that you wanted to say.
Okay.
So, commissioners, any questions on the presentation?
It's a historic building.
It was built in 1922. I'm not aware of it being historic or not. I don't typically prepare the packets.
Can you tell us whether the roofs were engineered to support the weight?
They have been engineered to make sure that they comply. That's part of the packet that we provide to the building department. The two arrays that I'm gonna have removed, one of our disqualifications is a bowed ridge, and
Got it.
I saw it tonight, and not good, so
Okay.
we'll remove 5 panels, and I don't see us putting them anyplace else. The roofs are very cut up. We had 9 arrays on this project. Of course, you have the one-way traffic coming down. There are a couple of 3-trunk trees in front that hide the house a bunch, but of course, those could come down at any time. Yeah, cute little house, but
Is there one sole disconnect for all the arrays?
yes,
There is.
yes.
So 1922 would make it 130 years. Commissioner Cronin?
You mentioned that there's 5 panels being taken down,
Removed from the design,
oh, from the design.
from the design. Nothing has been installed yet.
That's what I'm saying, I thought, that's.
No, nothing's
I misunderstood.
installed.
Okay, from the design, okay.
Okay, any other questions from the commissioners with regard to it?
Very straightforward.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna open up for public comment. Is there anyone here to speak with regard to this? Nope. Okay, I'll leave public comment open until we go to a motion. So, commissioners, how do you feel about it?
Cut and dry for me.
Okay. I agree. All right, so, in that, anything from staff?
No, nothing further for this one.
Not trying to forget you down there.
Okay.
All right, so in that case, I'm going to close public comment. Would one of the commissioners like to make a motion on the findings with regard to the Theodore Zambellis, 379 South Street, Hyannis, map 308, parcel 218, with regard to solar panels?
I will. I move that the commission find the application to be compatible with the preservation and protection of the district at 379 South Street, Barnstable.
Second that.
Take your pick. Commissioner Kay or Commissioner, okay, all right. So,
Just for clarification, it's Hyannis in Barnstable. 02601, its address is Hyannis.
oh, okay.
Nothing on your agenda would not be in that 02601.
Okay, I just,
Yeah.
Ever.
Yeah, that's right. Hyannis.
We put that on the plans as the zip code. That's probably where that,
Oh, okay.
I got you, okay.
Yeah.
Well,
so that's, they don't
But I
know.
looked you up.
They don't know, yeah, they don't know the villages.
yeah, Karen's pretty sharp on this stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, so closing public comment. So in that case, there's,
you have the
we have to have the
findings?
vote, we have the findings, now we need to vote on it. Commissioner Wentworth?
Aye.
Commissioner Kay?
All right.
Commissioner Doherty?
Aye.
Commissioner Clark?
Aye.
Commissioner Cronin?
Aye.
I also say aye. Would one of the commissioners like to make a motion on the certificate of appropriateness, please, with regard to this property and application?
I'll finish it. I move to issue a certificate of appropriateness for the application at 379 South Street, Hyannis, as described in the submitted materials.
Is there a second? Seconded by Commissioner Kay. Commissioner Cronin?
Aye.
Commissioner Clark?
Aye.
Commissioner Doherty?
Aye.
Commissioner Kay?
All right.
Commissioner Wentworth?
Aye.
I also say aye. Congratulations. Very nicely presented.
Thank you very much, thank you.
Thank you. All right, so minor modifications, next up, 473 Partners Restaurant, DBA Elbow Room Sports Bar, Wicked Willie's Tiki Bar, 473 Main Street, Hyannis, map 308, parcel 084, With regard to whitewash and paint, this is a continuation from the July 2nd, 2025 meeting. Welcome back.
Thank you. Hi, again, Shelley.
Yeah, please.
Hi, Willie Planachek, as we all know. I'm here for the minor modification. What I asked for and what the corporation is asking for is to continue to, I think, to remedy the forgotten corner of Main Street that the corporation is, after 4 or 5 years, it seems as though everyone's who's been there, former owners and the two corporations that have purchased it and sold it consequently, I've just forgotten about it. So the corporation wants to open the second building, the sister building, and put a fish and chips in there. So they're asking that the modification that you already gave to me, approved, the whitewashing and the trim color, that be extended to the sister, same address, same footprint, to the building to wake up that side of the property as well. And they're going to develop it. So they're asking that the flow, the consistency flows, and also to make the corner more lively and consistent with what's already happened there. So that's about it.
So,
Both colors have been approved, by the way.
Again,
So-
Madam Chair, I'm confused.
Yeah, I am too.
We have this applicant back again on the agenda for something that is not complete. We had asked him to bring back some updated materials because there was a concern about the existing project that was being worked on. We had a work group go together. Commissioner Doherty and I went, we spoke with Mr. Planachek, and we went over some of the items that was going on there right now. We had a concern in that we didn't want to continue that. One of them was the whitewash that we did discuss there while we were there. The color green was what we accepted, that's not in question here. So I'm just concerned that there's nothing here stating that.
it's a separate building.
No, I understand that, but why wouldn't, we had a follow-up item from our last meeting.
Mhm.
And are you putting it under things not anticipated, or I'm just
No,
concerned, once
not-
again, we don't
yeah.
have the right
Well,
information before us in
by
order
the-
to have a
yeah,
conversation.
by the reading of the agenda, it would seem to be it was with regard to the whitewash and paint with regard to the application we
I
had before
understand.
us. And according to the letter, which I'll read briefly, it seems to only refer to that as well. To whom it may concern, this is from Patrick Kane, Director of Operations, 473 Main Street Partners LLC. 473 Main Street Partners LLC gives permission to Will Planachek, sorry if I'm butchering the
It's okay,
pronunciation,
I'm used to it.
to perform the proposed renovations for this project, which include painting the trim bright green, exterior whitewash the brick, landscaping changes, lighting, fencing, and new tiki bar pagoda. If there are any questions, concerns, please call, and then the number to call. That doesn't seem to go into the new building again. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, Jim, but that should technically be a separate application because it's not on this particular application. Is that correct?
Well, you have a property at 473 that's looking to be improved. You have existing improvements now. My understanding is there was some cooperation going on. I don't know if that is the fact. So the request here is to add additional whitewashing, just like what's right at the other edge of the parcel.
Correct, yes.
The green trim, any other additions on that? Okay. And so that is a question. And then also a question by this commission is the ongoing activity on this same site, which is the same parcel, so with the same applicant. So do you, I mean, I guess maybe for the benefit of the group, is there an update to how that is
That's what I was expecting.
Sure.
improving based on the agreement?
Yes.
Okay.
I
So
have,
you-
I have a question about, and I'm very confused on this whole thing. You know, we went, and when we gave the approval, we sent it to Corey, that he was gonna approve the recommendations that we wanted. Then we get a letter from Corey, that Corey never saw it. and Cheryl signed off on the certificate. So if Corey never saw it, how can,
Because I thought that that had been approved. But the thing is, one thing that you hit on there is that I do have down here to ask you about your trip, because the two of you were going to go, and what was the result of that?
Just to back it up from
Yeah.
the other discussion, when we approved that original project, it was with the understanding that it was with, the only changes were those items that were from the meeting, which was the permission from the property owner, the
we
lighting
have.
plan. Right, there's a couple of other things, and those were the only things that we as a commission were saying was outstanding. So that was the only thing that we were expecting to have verified. Everything else on that project plan, which was the pagoda, the layout, the lights, everything else was as presented. So when we approved it with that plan and that layout and design in mind. That isn't what's there.
Which wasn't quite to scale.
Wasn't quite to scale, but it's not there. Nothing is there that was originally just on that original plan. And so that raised some concerns, and then when the second request came in for the second building, there was some concern, again, with the whitewash. There was some question on whether or not that was really whitewash, or could he power wash it down to get some of that off. And that was where we formed the work group.
That's correct.
And went on site. Corey was not able to go with us that day, but we did go and went through several items that are already in progress and that are on the site right now, which were not part of the original design or part of the original approval of appropriateness.
Can you elaborate on your visit and what you discovered
Yes.
and what the results of those
So,
are?
and there
please?
it's in communications that we.
Oh, it's in there.
She sent it.
Oh, yeah, I have got that.
So what we did was we had a follow-up meeting on Friday, July 11th. During the July 1st Historic Commission meeting, the application had requested to paint a sister building on the same property with the same whitewash brick and green trim. Commissioners were concerned with the applicant's interpretation of whitewash was not what the commission approved of during their original application. It appears to be painted, which is not approved. During the discussion, commissioners had further concerns that after seeing the work being done today, it was not the plan that was presented before us for approval. Particularly, the original application was not to scale, so the materials, design, dimensions, layout, etc., could not fit in within the design site, which was approved. Specific concerns, lighting, bandstand roof, tiki bar, design and placement, patio furniture, etc. were not approved. The applicant, Will Planachek, admitted his original design plan and layout would not fit, and he has made modifications to get it to fit the site. He didn't mention that he was aware that any changes needed to be approved, any changes to the approved design should have been before the commission. The applicant said he was willing to work with us to make the project to be compliant. He said he used the string lights that he saw other places were using on Main Street, and we had mentioned to him that those were not in compliant, which is why we recommended Smith's Family, Neptune's Apollo Pizzeria patio globe lights, which were approved. The commission asked if we could come back to the next meeting, 7/16, with an updated plan, design and layout, lighting and materials, etc., so the commission can review to see if still approved, and he agreed. The chair asked if we could form a subcommittee, it was actually a working group, and go to the site to meet with them in person and go over what items were approved, not approved. Commissioners Doherty and Cronin volunteered to be part of that work group and would work with Karen and Corey to arrange a site visit to walk through what is being done and versus what was approved. On Friday, Commissioner Doherty and Cronin met with Mr. Planachek at the site. After review and discussion, it confirmed that the majority of the work being built and done, was not approved by the Hyannis Historic. Whitewash brick, close-up inspection, you can see it is an attempted whitewash look. However, the brick is much too covered for this historic district example we provided to him. The applicant has agreed to power wash it and to bring it back more of the brick. Once he has done that, the commission can inspect and see if it's acceptable, and if it would, we could then approve the second application for the other building. Landscaping and fencing. Due to the significant change in size and layout of the site, the landscape has been modified. and we had not received an updated landscape plan. Hanging plants have been added, which work well. Fencing with matted surface has been ordered and would be installed as soon as it arrives. The remaining landscape will be done after the fence is installed. Stone pavers layout and design on patio works well for the space, no issues. The Tiki Bar was to be a freestanding bar underneath a wooden pagoda. All materials were, including the roof, were to be made of wooden and were to be wooden as described in the original application. Currently, the bar is not what was approved. It had to be downsized to fit the space and has fewer seats. It has a thatched roof not approved, and the design is completely different with painted art on the sides. Colors in the painting, while they may be in the historic color palette, design and placement were not approved. Thatched roofs are not allowed in the historic district. Recommend it goes back to the original stained wood design. There's no covering over the bar area. This should be noted in the updated scope and layout being provided. There is currently no plan for coverage in inclement weather. Tiki Bar posts are unpainted and final design needs to be approved. Lighting. Lamp posts were approved for 5. Currently there are 4. The applicant is willing to look at additional if needed once everything is in place. The design was accepted by the Hyannis Historic, however, the model being used is color changing, which is why we were seeing red lights out there, which would not have been approved, but the applicant said he can control the switch and he can leave them white. Other lighting, light strings hanging along the fence, all around the property, above the Tiki Barn building, etc., were not approved. During the first meeting, we recommended that if the applicant wanted to add other lighting, to use the globe lights currently used at Smith Family Neptunes or Palio Pizzeria patio areas. All exterior string lights should be changed to the globe light style. The bandstand. The bandstand roof is translucent wood green and white. It was approved by the HHDC from the plan provided by the applicant. The applicant showed us a picture of the bandstand design and dimensions that he sent, and he noted that it was translucent. But this should be noted that the roof was accepted as a variance by the Hyannis Historic and would need approval if anyone else would come before the commission is interested in using that material in the future. The bandstand backstand has been updated to a more finished look and is acceptable. The bandstand has a painting on the background, not in the plan. I'm not sure what that has to do with, whether we need to do anything with that or not. That's just noted. Outside patio furniture umbrellas, these are not on the original plan, are noted as an outstanding item. The original approved application only had high top tables and chairs. Because the scope and layouts have significantly changed, this should be reviewed by the commission. Furniture design is okay, however, colors of cushions and umbrellas need to be brought before us. We asked the applicant to include them along with the propane gas tables he has there now and the updated scope and layout he gives us. Additional outdoor alcove added to the front entrance. This was to accommodate the ice maker so it could be placed outside. The commission may want to look to have a more finished look on the outside like you did with the bandstand. At the conclusion of our site walk, the project scope, design, and materials have been significantly changed from the original application presented to the Hyannis Main Street Waterfront Historic Commission on May 7th. Therefore, in our opinion, the certificate of findings we voted on is not the same as what there is now on site and currently is not compatible with the preservation and protection of the district, nor is the certificate of appropriateness as described in the submitted materials on the original application. The outstanding issues were permission from the owner, which is provided, stage plans provided and approved by the HHDC, landscape plan not provided for the existing site layout, lighting plan not approved for the existing lighting plan or string light signage or placement on pagoda. Provided the pagoda is no longer on the site. There's no mention of the site plan scope and plan that they were not accurate. Before we left, we explained this to Mr. Planachek and that we would be writing up a summary of the site visit, and he reaffirmed what he has built is not the design material scope of project that was before the Hyannis Main Street Historic Commission. He said he is willing to work with us and agreed to provide an updated site plan to scale, which includes all of the items and placement on the site, to the commission at our next meeting on July 16th.
Okay. Very comprehensive. Thank you very much for the two of you doing that. I'm very impressed. So
I think that the main thing is you look at, and he compliments us all the time, saying how easy it was and wonderful it was working with the commission. And people say, gee, I can't believe you got this to the commission. when they look at what's being done on there. And that's because, like I told them, that's because that's not what was approved. We would never have approved a thatched roof on there. And even if it was on the original design, at least it would have been a discussion. We would have known that it wasn't there. But the original pagoda, whatever you have, was wooden. It was stained, looked like a wood stained, and even in the description of the original application, it was wood. And it was supposed to go over the bar. You had a freestanding bar, it was going over the bar. But obviously, the site can't accommodate that.
Right.
So when you started putting the bar together, and I think initially, I don't think anything was even looked at until the pagoda went up, until the roof went on, and it's a thatched roof. So that's kind of where I think, from a historic commission, what we approved was that original site and the materials for the pagoda and other things. And we only had a few outstanding items. So when we approve it, we're thinking that that's going to be there. The fact that it isn't, what can we do to get it so that we can get it to be something that would be more inappropriate with the preservation of the Hyannis Historic District. The globe lights are important only because it shows that, it might seem like a little thing, but it does show that that's what we approved, and we have a lot of our businesses accommodating for that. There are some that you use. I'm not doubting that, but that's again part of the original sin out there, is that we've got items out there that are not approved by the historic district, but they're kind of just happening. We don't have a lot of repercussion that we can do there, but we can do it for new projects, and that's why new projects, you can see the quality of the patios in those examples that we gave, and that makes a difference, and that's where the historic would make a big difference there. What you're doing there at the corner is wonderful. It just, everyone is like, oh my gosh, that's great, but okay.
Where do we go from here on a situation like this? It was never approved by Cora where it was supposed to go. So does this certificate of appropriateness hold up? Or
I think I can answer that, and correct me if I'm wrong, Jim. And by the way, very well presented, thank you, and very comprehensive. I'm also very pleased that how you really tried to work with us, and you say, work with us to get this right. It's very much appreciated. I think the thing to do would be to see how we can correct it and get it the way to what it was that was approved. And you've identified the various items. What I was hoping for tonight was, I wanted to ask you, did you have a copy of this report?
No.
Okay. So if we give you a copy of this report and then bring it back at the next meeting, then what I was hoping is that we'd have a report on how this has been corrected.
Madam Chair,
yes, sure.
they're going for a certificate of occupancy next week.
Oh.
I would like to make sure that we can hold that up until some major items get corrected.
I thought tonight this is how we've addressed it, but Jim, I'm going to turn it over.
Yep.
to your
So
opinion on this.
really, you have two options to answer Commissioner Doherty's question. I mean, the first is exactly as you mentioned, as chairwoman, work together with the applicant to. I mean, even if it sounds like what was presented doesn't fit into the site, perhaps the applicant needs to resubmit some drawings that meet his needs, and then you can review to determine whether it meets the guidelines and regulations. I think the commission already offered some suggestions, so certainly making those improvements could work. So working together is option one, and that's I think historically how the commission's always proceeded. Option two, if the applicant is unwilling to work and the commission finds that it doesn't meet the certificate of appropriateness that was granted, it's measured to the building department for enforcement action, stating that it doesn't meet it and providing something very similar to this memo stating how it doesn't meet it to the building commissioner, and they would send their inspector out for enforcement.
And that's exactly how I see it. But I believe that you have said, you'll work with this and you'll get these corrected.
Well, I have, so I'd like to
Yeah.
present what has been done, post our meeting. Here is the scale drawings that you requested with the umbrella tables. And again, I had to supply this up to all the other departments in this town, but it wasn't asked for, scale drawing nor seating plan here.
Yes, it was. That was the original, your original scale.
Everything I submitted
And we asked for it
to
again
Cory.
last time.
Yeah.
We did, yes.
Well, no, it was, part of the original application had that out.
The original application approved by Cory, well, I guess it wasn't then, correct?
No, the original one was approved.
Well, it
By
wasn't.
this commission.
this
It wasn't-
commission.
Yeah, but it wasn't submitted to you.
No,
Cory.
but can I,
Yes, these are the drawings which show the umbrella tables and the scale of the project. Excuse me. Which you requested.
Mhm.
just want to get these bearings here and where we are.
These are the
Okay.
the power washing that has been done to the building. There's one there, and there's one there. So the building has been power washed, and you can see the results of the power wash.
Still doesn't, to be honest, it doesn't look like there's a whole 50 feet from the fence to
Yeah.
the pagoda.
Yeah.
Or not the pagoda, the bandstand.
It's quite lengthy. Let's see, as far as the lighting goes, the lighting had been, you asked for lighting, but you weren't descriptive on, you said we like globes and this and that, because we were talking about the lanterns, but not any other lighting sources. So I have taken, and again, at the meeting, I said I went around town and saw all the lighting in the town, and that's what I replicated, which is extensive here, which I will send to all of you. All the other 12, 15 different neighbors, immediate neighbors I can put to, that all have the exact same lights that I have. You're talking about $800 worth of lights, but again, they're the same lights that I have. So it keeps going. These are all my neighbors here.
The lighting plan that you presented in your original plan only had lanterns. It did not have any other lighting on the property. And that's what we
That's what
approved.
was approved.
Yeah.
It's not that other
Yeah.
people have.
So you can take them down because they weren't approved on the original plan, or you can change them, I guess.
Thing is, the other, we all know that there are other establishments in town that aren't going by the guidelines either.
These are some of the
But
bars that you mentioned are in here with the same lights. So I think when you mentioned, and again, I think it goes back exactly how undefined you were about, about this entire project, in my view. So you were
We were
very
undefined.
undefined as far as, what was permissible and what you wanted from me, umbrella tables. And there was no mention of that. I mean, I've done it for other departments, of course, the health department, and all the other departments have asked for flooring plans and so forth. No one asked for a flooring plan, we produced it.
so
This is what was
That's what we
presented.
were talking.
that's what we're
This
going
is
by.
what we said,
That's a rendering.
but this is what you put before us to
I
approve.
understand it.
And that's what we approved.
A rendering to us, when it's presented to us, is what we're expecting to be on the site.
I think that you should have asked for a scale drawing, and that, we discussed that as well with Tom and Laura, we discussed that. You were somewhat remiss, that you should have asked for more information, and you agreed to it.
We gave you more leeway in trying to help you to get it ready for the opening of the summer.
And I thank
That's
you.
what we did.
I
And
understand.
a mistake on our part, okay? And Laura and I told you that the other day. And you went ahead and did things, this is what we were basing it on, okay? And whether you knew it or not, you put a plan in front of us. What do you think we're here? We're voting on that plan, not that you can do alterations to that plan, okay? So I don't know where the misunderstanding was, whether it's to scale or not to scale. We're looking at that, just shrink it down. That's what I was doing. Once I was so confused, I didn't know where the property was. I had to ask Matt, and he showed me, because I thought this area was so big, and it's this little 50-foot plot. So I'm just thinking we're shrinking it down. And, then putting up the lights that turn colors, red, green, and, in all different colors, that's not approved, okay? So you gave us a plan, we approved that plan, and you didn't follow through on it.
So what I would
I
say,
differ with that.
what is it that you're going for next week? You said they're applying to
The variances, yeah, the variances in
the what?
a variance with the Board of Health to open,
We can't open yet.
yeah, next Wednesday.
Mr.
Is the-
Planacek, so you were shooting for Father's Day, if I remember correctly, and now you're trying to get occupancy next week. Do you have like staff lined up?
Yes, I have a lot of staff lined up for this, and they've left other jobs and so forth. This has been going along, and there's been delays by other departments, not affiliated with this, but a lot of delays, and these people are, it's their livelihoods here, as we both know, they're all year-round people. So there's been a lot of, pressure on them as well. So I've been trying to, whether it be the lighting that everybody else has and the power washing, which I said I would do. I showed you the scale.
Is the fencing gonna be up by opening?
I don't know, Tom, that's up, remember I showed you.
We did see that
I
on.
know that.
Yeah, I showed
That
you
is
the
on.
invoices, and of course,
Perfect.
I wouldn't put up the fence, landscape and then put up the fence, and you understood that, and I showed that the fence was paid in full. And it's coming because you requested it be matte finished, which was
Right.
significant.
What about the thatched roof?
Can you take the thatch off and put up this pergola, that wooden pergola that you had on the original design?
Well, the way and again, I didn't find a lot of structure here. It's a tiki bar. Tiki bars have been around for 200 years.
That's not the point.
You should have, if you had it on there
What
to begin with, we would have had the conversation then, but you didn't have any idea of a thatched roof when you brought it in here,
To
correct?
tell you the truth, I didn't have an idea that there was a thatch roof available, so I brought you a sample per your request. I have a sample of that.
Yeah, but that's after the fact, it isn't beforehand. So that would be one thing that I would say is if you could remove the thatch and put just wood on there, that would go a long way to making it more compatible to the Hyannis Main Street. As far as the lighting goes, I would leave that up to the commissioners to take a vote on it.
I'd like to comment on that.
Please do.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I feel strongly about this. Our duties here are to preserve the character of the Main Street Hyannis, and we have expressed our concern about enforcement a number of times. That's not within the seated commissioners here, not within our power. But what we can do is know the guidelines. I wish Kevin was here tonight. Hello. And we ask you to help us.
Sure.
Ask us to help us with enforcing what is the best for our Main Street Hyannis. The fact that you were able to identify 12 non-conforming only points out how important this committee is. And I appreciate the expense of it, appreciate what you're doing to the corner. But I'd also ask you to respect the very hard work that this committee did really not too long ago to update all of our guidelines. Thatch roof is not going to be something that, I can't speak for everybody, but I do have a feeling that that's not something that's would have been approved in the original application, but there certainly would have been a discussion about what your options were. So those are the kinds of things that I'd like to see, no pushback.
So, I agree with you entirely. And I think we are familiar with the guidelines and we know what's in it because we've been painstakingly
Painstaking.
dotting the i's and crossing the t's and everything else. So, particularly the subcommittee. I'm gonna make a suggestion and I would like the feedback on how you feel about it. I do feel for the people that want to get on and work. I also feel that we need to have these changes done. I agree totally about the thatched roof. I don't think that would ever pass. There are certain things that have come out here. Question about the patio, but the globe lights, the Smith family Neptune patio, the wooden roof as opposed to the tiki, we went over that. There's supposed to be 5 light lamp posts as opposed to the 4. The other lighting, the string lighting, I'm not too bothered about that because I think I would have preferred what we had agreed to, but there is kind of a precedent. Actually, it's not a precedent because it wasn't approved with the others on a lot of them. But it's however, I think the globe light style should be there. There's a number of other things. My inclination is to get a firm commitment that those will be corrected. And we would send the subcommittee around afterwards to verify that those have been done. But to, with that assurance that we would, because I do feel for people that, it's already mid-July. And, another meeting, they might have lost income during the summer for the people that you have hired, your staff. But
Just
trying
so you know, the delays have not been on our side, the delays are from other departments. The delays.
Oh, that is
Yeah,
correct,
okay,
that is
just
correct,
that
yeah,
to be clear.
I realize that. That would be my inclination with a firm assurance that it will be addressed and the subcommittee will go to confirm that it is or it will come back to the commission. That is my inclination, but as I always say, I am one voice, I am, I conduct it, but the important voices is everyone that is here around this table. How do you feel about that suggestion? Obviously, the whitewashing to be addressed as well. How do you feel?
I like the suggestion. I'd also like to mention just we need to be careful of the precedent that we kind of set because I think we're essentially messaging you should just not come here and do what you want to do. This gentleman's been here 3 times and he's obviously trying to work with us. Mm-hmm. He has the pictures to prove it, and we all know it. So anyone watching this who wants to hang lights might just not come and pick out umbrellas and put them up. I think he's maybe been a little bit too transparent and is paying the price. But I like your suggestion, but
I value your comments, thank you. I'm trying to find a middle ground here.
Yeah, but you don't want to just send that message that, don't come here because you're going to have problems.
Commissioner Doherty, you started to talk, I'm sorry, I interrupted you.
Anything?
The umbrellas,
Yeah.
the
Color of the umbrella?
well, they're teal, which goes with the color. It's a tropical color. And again, I went around and I have all the pictures of all the other restaurants in town that the reds and greens and yellows don't suit their motif. And the other thing is, I purchased those umbrellas without any writing on them. And I bought those. All the other bars, all the sister, my neighbors, they get their umbrellas for free, and they all say Budweiser or Sam Adams and so forth. And I have a collection of photographs for that as well. So, I'm trying to keep the flow, and to your point earlier, was the attraction and the color coordination, and not have writings with alcohol and suggested and things like that. And buying them, I could have gotten free umbrellas from every liquor company in town, but I didn't. I didn't do that for that reason, because I didn't want to look like they did. It looks like a clown town down there. It looks like a circus in some of these outside bars. So I kept it clean, tight, and color coordinated, in my opinion, to the trim, to the motif, to the theme of the project. And again, it was at my cost.
If we do this, okay, again, the thatch roof was not approved by anybody, where does that stand?
And this would be conditional.
It's what?
This would be conditional to move ahead. But go ahead.
So it's just conditional, where he can keep it if he
No,
likes?
it's conditional on these things being addressed.
Oh, okay.
But may I make a suggestion, because the thatch roof is only a seasonal roof. So would the commission see that after the season, I could take it down because of the expense of it? I'm talking about $5,000 on that roof.
What about next year?
I would say.
Take it down. No, take it down.
I would say
I
no.
would say, well, it doesn't fit into the historic district as far as I'm concerned. And again, it should have been brought up on the first round.
If you had, again, if it had been your idea, we would have probably put it on this, and that would have the discussion, and we would have given that discussion at the time. But not, I would say the thatch roof is probably one of the ones that we probably would need to really bring down.
In other words, that's a top item.
Yeah, well, it's already been there for over a month now, and it's almost August, so it'd only be there for let's say, middle of September, just to keep this, get this thing open for the employees and so forth, and get through the season with it. It is approved by the fire department and approved by the building inspector. That, has been signed off. So what I'm asking is that the roof be removed, and I'll come back and supply you with another remedy for you to vote on. But the time for this particular period, July 16th, and it is a safe roof, as I mentioned. It is signed off and inspected. So I asked that. Now the power washing has taken place, and the lighting again was just replication of everybody else's.
You have to be careful in that excuse, because a lot of times they haven't come before us. So.
Right, exactly, that's part of the problem.
Again,
What's the
I don't.
timeline on something like this, Jim? If, you said the other alternative was to
Enforcement.
enforce.
Yeah,
If he gets certificate of occupancy, does that make any difference with the enforcement?
it'll be up to the building commissioner as to what the next steps would be for enforcement. Likely he's gonna try and work with the owner to bring it back here, very likely first.
Just to
So
point out
I
that,
don't think
just,
we have any other option, but to
just-
do your suggestion, at this stage of the game. I don't like the thatch roof.
I don't either.
I want it off. And we'll go from there, and
Did-
just hope that you do what we asked you.
The thing is, the building inspector, if we go that route, that's gonna take time as well, and it might well end up being the same amount of time. So, you get the assurances that this will be addressed. I think the big thing is the thatched roof, but like I said, I'm only one voice. So everybody else's voice here, how do you?
I don't think there's anything else we can do at this point.
It was not what we approved.
I'm not comfortable with the fact that we can't do anything else.
I am too.
Yeah, I mean, I
Well,
think
the
that that's
alternative is to go
uncomfortable
through
with
the building or the building department, but if we do that, then they're probably going to take a month to go and see it, and then a month to try
But
and
can you
enforce it.
understand
It's
that.
not
I
gonna be-
understand emergency in there, I mean, we're talking about him being able to open as is, because they're gonna just, if they don't hear something from us, they're assuming we've approved what's there. That's the part that I'm also
Would be clear.
flabbergasted at,
We would be clear.
because they said that, Hyannis Historic already approved everything, but it's like, they're going by some approval, but not necessarily by what our plan was to approve, so.
They would be informed that we have not approved this.
Right.
Is there anything you can do about that roof beforehand? Because it is just a roof.
Madam Chair, if I may.
Sure. Absolutely.
Everyone here has quite a bit of experience in downtown Hyannis. There are times in the last 40 years that I've been active here where if a building did not conform, it came down.
Right.
Or the roof came down, or the shed came down, or the addition came down. To your point about the $5,000 on the thatch roof, I'm very sympathetic. But it was for not conforming to the
Good
standards
point.
that each of these committees over these many years have enforced and tried to enforce. I'm very uncomfortable with the feeling that because others have shirked their responsibilities to follow the guidelines that the town has set, not that we've set, but the town and all of its committee have worked very hard to set these guidelines, that they that they continue to flaunt that. I'm very uncomfortable with that. I don't feel that that's an appropriate base for us to approve some of these things because some others have done it and it's not according to our guidelines. You're not asking, but the town is asking for this to be a historic district with these very specific guidelines. Whether I sit here or my commissioners sit here or the next group sit here, it's the same thing. And so I would ask you to give us some assurance of some kind that instead of a pushback on each, I already said that once before, on each of these items, what can you offer us that's not a pushback on the thatch roof?
Remove the roof and an asphalt roof.
And what happened to the wood roof?
Wood,
Isn't that what was on the original plan?
oh, that is that's painted, or what would you think that is? That's a wooden roof, I mean,
Right.
it's gotta have a covering on it, it's gonna leak.
It looks like a stained,
Yeah.
it looked like a wooden roof in the description.
Aren't we required to match the roofing of other buildings?
Yeah.
That would be good.
So if we have a shingled roof on the other building, we have the same thing on this cover?
That would be good.
I would like, if I may, that I would like to put a different color than the new roof that is on the motel, which is
And I would like to see it, you know, based on how everything has been done here. I'd like to see it. We have to see it.
I'd probably put a green shingle on it. They have green shingles, asphalt shingles. It would be green.
Lime green?
Tom hates green, by the way.
Yes, but-
He hates all greens.
I hate lime green.
I think it's a bit bold.
He's on the record for hating lime green, mint green, dark green, hunting green.
Asphalt could be black.
Smith's family used
There's a hunter green shingle that I've used
they
before
put that,
on other projects that would be very fitting for
Well,
this.
hunter green is much darker than the lime green.
Oh, there is no lime green shingle.
Well, I call that lime green.
This is lime green, but they don't make a lime green.
Okay.
Lime green is you know,
It's hunter
it's
green.
hunter green, it's a
Yeah.
hunter green. So that's what I would substitute.
Our color
That
palette,
would
we don't have a
work
hunter.
for you,
Do we have a hunter green?
Dark.
Yeah, I can
We have
picture
darker
that.
greens.
I don't have the whole, on Smith's family, they have a different type of, they have a roof on their little gazebo off the side. I don't have
The translucent panels.
no, that's okay. That shingles is good then.
Would you allow a stripe in the roof? I've done that with other projects, that I put actually a linear stripe, so it'd start out green and maybe have a cherry red, and then continue with green, just to.
It would
give
be
it some-
nice if we could get something to match this. That
Well,
would be,
that would be the hunter green asphalt.
Well, those aren't asphalt, those are wood, that's wood.
It's a piece of paper, I can't make asphalt on paper.
It said
So are
wood.
you saying white roof, or what are you suggesting?
There isn't
Yeah.
I think the hunter green would be appropriate.
I'm not fussed about the hunter green, but how do the rest of the commissioners feel? I'm not too fussed
And it
about it.
follows the colors that we have approved and will check.
And it would match the artwork that he has painted on them.
Does it match the artwork that
Yeah.
you saw?
Yeah.
Okay,
Are we okay with hunter green?
that's fine.
Okay, so hunter green roof, that would come down.
Matching the artwork that's on the bandstand.
Okay.
In the bottom.
Okay, so, I mean, that was the biggie. So,
Yeah,
thank
that's
you.
a biggie, right? So,
The whitewash was a biggie, but the shed on the side of the building, that's added, it's not on any of the renderings here. Is everybody familiar with the shed? Have they seen it?
Yes, I have.
Just saw it.
I go by
it's
once
it's
a
on
week.
it's on the plan.
It is on the plan.
Yeah.
The ice machine.
What about the ice machine?
I was just saying, it's not finished off if you wanted to put something on the outside of it, it's just, I think it's just plywood.
Actually, it's PVC.
Oh, it is PVC?
Yeah, it's trimmed out. I think it's appropriate. It's out in the weather, so it has to be.
Okay, that's
Was
fine.
that the one to cover the ice machine?
Yeah.
So,
So we certainly are not going to approve this new building with all
I
of
don't,
this
I want that
confusion.
to, I want that
with
to
this
come
over.
before us and to
That's
see the plans.
So we can table that, yeah,
Yeah,
let's
let's
get
table
through this
that.
first of all, and this is immediate. Play with
So-
that later, it's not pending, it's
What
not
we-
imminent.
What we're saying is the thatched roof will come down and the hunter green asphalt, whatever, will go on the as the roof. and then you will undertake to come back to us with regard to some of the other things that were brought up, like the lights and things like that. Is that okay? I mean, but meanwhile, we will allow it to proceed so the people that he has hired can still get half a summer of employment. And then that would be conditional, these other items, and you will give a copy of this report. I'm sorry you didn't get a copy before, that the remaining things would be addressed and you come back to us how that, so it's kind of an act of good faith. Thank you very much for agreeing to the roof. And we can address the other things and come back to us on it. How do commissioners feel on it?
Do I have can I have a multicolored asphalt roof is my question.
I would prefer not.
No, I don't like the idea. I think that's carnival, it's carnival.
100 green.
100
Yeah, 100 green is fine. And have lights around.
Yeah, that's not.
If they wanted to take the 100 green to the rest of the building.
There you go, being funny again. I don't know if that works.
So,
we're
does that sound like a plan for everybody?
And then Laura and I will go back.
Yes,
Once
please.
it's
And
done.
you've done a spectacular job. I'm extremely impressed with the report.
I think that's,
It's extremely comprehensive,
okay.
and thank you for your time on it.
So I'll change over the roof immediately. We're at peace and you're gonna come by and we're gonna check out the whitewash,
And the lights and things like
The
that.
lights
Come
and
up with a
things
plan for those.
lights and power wash.
Yeah.
Is that about it?
The power
Is that it? So it's lights and power wash
and the tiki.
and the roof, and we're good here.
We okay with the umbrellas?
If they're part of the color palette. then
Okay, all right.
nothing
Okay,
we
all
can do. I don't know if they are.
okay.
They weren't before us, so we don't know.
They were never on the plan.
No, so if you
I
need,
didn't bring
then
my
just
thing.
confirm that they're on the color palette.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right.
Okay.
So, thank you very much for working with us on it. I think we got there in the end. Are we okay with that?
Conditional approval?
Conditional approval?
Does the conditional approval have a timeline?
Well, the roof is roughly immediately. I mean, I'm not gonna say tomorrow, but, within a reasonable, let's get it down.
Or email it to me?
There's quite a few here. You want,
She needs it for the
complete set
record.
for the record.
She needs it for the record.
this is just for the lighting?
Yeah, for the examples.
Just for the record, for
And
whatever,
if you, because you presented it,
Whatever's
so-
applicable.
This, did you get that?
yeah, that I should have,
And you can email them if you wish.
yeah.
There's a whole set.
There's a bunch here.
They're all.
You got more than that?
So,
Just have the whitewash.
All right.
all right,
Why don't I sort these out, Karen, and then I'll drop them off to your office.
Okay, that's fine.
Just so you know, we're not duplicating.
Yes, one, yep.
So what's the timeline for us to go back, or is that?
I would say, what are we on now? We're on the 16th of July. Let's say,
By our first meeting in August?
oh yeah, definitely by that time. I'm just gonna say,
You can go
10
back
10
anytime, as soon as it's done.
Can you coordinate
Yeah.
with this
We'll
gentleman
do it
and
through Karen, like we did
yeah,
before.
try
Would that
to-
be okay, Karen?
so that we have a report by the next meeting?
Yeah,
Is that okay?
But what I want to do is make sure that if he's got it done sooner, we can go and look at
Yeah.
it sooner.
Yeah.
Good idea.
So,
Yeah.
Okay.
but by the August meeting.
Yeah, you can
By
email
August 1,
me and
by
I'll let
August
them
1.
know.
When's the next meeting?
August
Uh,
6th.
Yes, August 6th.
August 1st.
August 6th is our next one.
So, definitely by August 1st, if that's
Okay,
okay.
so the roof will be done by my meeting with the Board of Health next Tuesday.
Okay,
For you know, to get
To
approval.
get it approved,
So
okay.
we'll take care of that, and then I'll meet with these two
just like.
commissioners.
Would be
We'll go
good.
over the lighting and the whitewash.
Yep,
Thank
that sounds good, thank you.
That's it?
Thank you for working with us.
Madam Chair, real quick, so all that sounds like a great plan. You do have a minor modification for the second building that, as we know, we're
We've
kind of
agreed
hanging.
that that's going to,
We have to,
So we're gonna
do need
do a
to
vote.
continue the matter to
Yeah.
a date certain is all.
Yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and make the motion that as per the conversation, which Karen's been typing down, on the conditional agreement with regard to the roof, with regard to, you're going back with regard to the lighting and the whitewashing, et cetera, that we have agreed that that is sufficient for now on those conditions. And with regard to the additional building, that will come back to us with a full plan.
Second.
Seconded? Okay, everybody right with that? Okay.
Real quick, just
Okay.
for perhaps August 6th, just the next.
Oh, yes, August 6th.
Thank you.
Oh, good point, thank you. Commissioner Wentworth?
Aye.
Commissioner Kay?
Aye.
Commissioner Doherty?
Aye.
Commissioner Clark?
Aye.
Commissioner Cronin?
Aye.
I also say aye. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for working with us on that. And we also want to put into the record that you did supply the letter. That was in the part. Okay, all righty, what have I just done with my agenda? Okay. 4 July, Hyannis Public Library Community Wall Art Project, 401 Main Street, Hyannis, map 326, parcel 013. This is with regard to an extension for the grant of certificate of appropriateness. It was extended to July of this year. And who's going to be representing for July? If you could please sign in. And there's another chair there. So if you could both sign in. Just to note that the deadline was July 15th, 2025, which would be yesterday. Reading that into the record. We also have correspondence, which, hold on a second, I'll go through that one. This all good there. And we will read these into the record very shortly. Right. You're up.
Everybody should have.
That was, it looks to me like the
She
original
has-
presentation.
It's
Letters.
also there.
That's this right
We
here.
have it.
Yes.
Well, I guess I would like to start off our conversation by saying that we, we've been consulting with our partners at the Hyannis Public Library, and given the developments in their renovation plan, which are a lot more firm now, and as I understand it, the slated scheduled beginning of their construction is September 1st, correct? At which time this location will be not accessible to the public anymore. Our hope and request for this conversation would be to extend the permit of the art wall until that time, so just a little bit over a month from now. So I guess I just wanted to lead with that hopeful expectation. And the presentation that you have before you is in many ways similar to one that you've seen several times in our various interactions about this project. It's updated a little bit with some community partnerships that have been built and continue, namely that Barnstable High School has made coming to this wall part of their annual curriculum. We welcomed about 60 high school students to the wall just a couple of months ago. We've also, since the last time we met, welcomed several different community groups, including folks from the Transition Center, I'm sure adults with intellectual disabilities, as well as some folks from a memory care group and their caregivers who meet at the Hyannis Public Library, and children that participate in the Cordial Eyes arts programming. I think, as most of you also probably know, the Cultural Center has recently revitalized their plans around the Geyer Barn and have stated that, one of the teaching artists that's kind of managing that space for them is a skilled graffiti artist and had expressed interest in integrating that into the programming at the Geyer Barn in the remaining time that's left on the tenure of the wall. Yeah, I think those are kind of the major highlights of the presentation. one other thing that you'll see added kind of at the end of the packet is that this wall over its life has been an observable deterrent to vandalism in the community. And we actually have kind of very shortly after the wall originally was permitted, we had an incident actually on our building in which some children illegally graffitied some racial slurs, and you'll see some images of those there with some pertinent letters redacted for our protection. And as a result of this, we were actually able to these kids, as it turned out, turned back to the scene of the crime, and we were able to talk to them about the impact of their actions and redirect them to the graffiti wall across the street, where they proceeded to engage with the art form in a way that was appropriate and not harmful to our community. And one other anecdote that we'd like to share that's come up in the last 6 months is that when we were first trying to get this wall permitted, I guess about 3 years ago now is when that process started. There was a person in the community that was illegally tagging or like writing his graffiti name around the community. He went by A1, and we would often say during this process, you know, like, this wall is for A1. Clearly this person like wants a place to practice and keeps graffitiing on stuff that belongs to other people. And at the beginning of this year, somebody wandered into our office and said, you know, I work with peer recovery and just wanted to see what this organization was. And we got to talking to this person, and he shared that, you know, he's been living in this community for a number of years, was in active addiction several years ago, has since gotten sober and works for peer recovery. And he was like, you know, I'm something of an artist, I actually do graffiti. And we said, oh really, can you show us some of your work? And it was A1. And we couldn't believe that this guy walked through our doors, and we said, you know, we have this project and we actually thought about you before we knew who you were. And he said, you know, since at that time, you know, I was in a really rough place. I didn't have any transportation. I couldn't access any places to do this work, and also, you know, was not sober. So made some choices that I regret. And he kind of shared with us that he received a lot of supports and services in this community to get sober. And because of that, like he kind of expressed his desire to like never vandalize in this community again, but had not known previously about the art wall. And we ended up being able to bring this person to Barnstable High School to work with the students there and educate them about his art form, which he does in sanctioned locations throughout the state and New England. And it was a really beautiful moment, and we would not have seen that happen if the wall hadn't been up for this long. So we thank you all for letting it survive to be able to like see this really beautiful full circle moment, which I think encompasses a lot of what we want to see for our community together. And so we would love to be able to sunset this project in a way that is caring for the community, that gives them warning about that gives us the opportunity to celebrate what we've done together. And we think that just coincides naturally with the development here in our neighborhood. Anything you want to add to that, Aunt Stacey?
Okay, so same as with the other applicants, what we're going to do is have the questions with regard to the presentation from the commissioners, and I'll open it up to public comment, and then we'll come back for deliberation. So, is there anything else you wanted to say?
I don't think so.
Okay, so commissioners, questions on the presentation? Please.
You mentioned the coinciding with the beginning of the big project for the Hyannis Public Library. Are you comfortable with a timeline that coincides with, say, September 1st or September 15th, something?
Yeah.
Even if for whatever reason their project gets delayed a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, if there was some unexpected delay, we would still be happy to honor an agreed upon timeline. But yeah, I mean, I think hopeful plan would be to potentially make some programmatic plans for the end of the summer.
Anything I've ordered for building in the last 6 months has been delivered when they said, it's gonna be delivered.
Sure,
So just,
sure.
no, it might happen, but as long as you're comfortable with the timeline, I appreciate you sharing that. Thank you.
Other commissioners, any questions on the presentation?
You know, from the beginning with this art wall, I've been just concerned about the size of it on the building. You know, it's just massive, it takes over the whole building. The reason I went along with it so long is I love the idea of the children, you know, being able to paint. But they're painting with aerosol cans. You know, that's dangerous to them, it's dangerous to the environment, dangerous to the earth, dangerous to plants. So I don't like that. To me, it's always been the size and nothing else, and I still think it's way too big for that building. And, you know, you've had numerous people talk to you about how much you loved it. I've had numerous people talk to me as, how do you let that happen on a public building? You know, so that's subjective. But to me, it's just too massive for the size of that building. And I don't like the idea of children with aerosol cans.
Anyone else?
I'm having a lot of pushback from the neighbors. I spend a lot of time on Main Street. I'm pretty active here. I'm very active here. And I'm not getting the positive reaction that we're hearing from a lot of people going, when will this be done? They were hoping that an art wall would include every kind of art, not just graffiti. Case in point, Chatham has an absolutely gorgeous Art in the Park program.
They do, yeah.
And the artistry of the local people is fabulous. The artists are incredible what they can do on these whales and shark boards. And a lot of people are wishing we had that art wall was going to have those facets and those things, but it doesn't seem to be. It's been the same thing for as long as it's been. And there are a lot of people who would like to see a major change in that to get more art for everybody that enjoys art, not just graffiti. So
But we don't dictate content.
I have a real difficulty with continuing this.
Okay. Anyone else have any comments? I do have some parts myself that I wanted to make, but I always like to go last.
I would
Commissioner
agree
Kernan.
with what's been said. I think the size of it has been an issue. The children, I've always think that having the kids and people having a place to paint in public is wonderful. But I think right now the feedback that I get and that I see is that it is graffiti and it's massive. I mean, it's just, you know, huge, taking up the whole side of the library. So that's kind of overwhelming for people, I think. And it has been up there for 3 years, and I think that I understand that there is some very positive opportunities for people to using it, but there's also, you know, a bigger community at stake, and whether this is at September 1st or when the library, you know, starts its demolition, I think that I might have to give that some thought.
So
Again, the thing that I loved was, you know, it's coming down in September or whoever, we all know there are delays there. But again, you know, walking around the property, there's a big brick wall around the playground, you know, in the back. And again, my concern is with the kids. And you could put up panels on those little brick wall that's in the courtyard. Be perfect size for children and have them use paintbrushes instead of you know, aerosol cans. Suggestion.
So I have a question of Jim. Last time we spoke, and I've been away for a while, I just kind of jet lagged and got back a couple days, a day ago. At the time that we last spoke, there had been no permit drawn yet for the demolition. Has that been done yet?
We have a representative from the library here who may be able to speak to permitting for the library itself.
Yes, if you wouldn't mind. Please, but if you could sign in, I'd appreciate it. Thank you, Mary, for allowing her to have your chair. And if you wouldn't mind mind stating your name again?
Antonia Stevens, Director of Hyannis Public Library.
Thank you.
So as of July 3rd, we passed the site plan review. And on Friday, the building permit application was submitted. And in real time today, it's passing different, different.
It's hitting different desks.
Yes,
Yes.
and so I also did want to say that the September 1st date is being given because they think that it'd just be easier on the parking, because the whole situation for staging the parking is quite a big deal for the town. They think that we will be ready prior to that the building permit will be ready prior to that, but it just seems to make more sense in terms of taking up the space in the parking lot to do September 1st. So at that point, the building will be inaccessible. So even if we do start doing some stuff interior, the actual project may start happening, but they're not gonna block off that until September 1st. So what you were saying about, things being delayed, we're sort of trying to give ourselves a little bit of extra time for that as well. So regardless of whether anything physically starts happening to the building, that construction fencing will go up and that will make that space inaccessible to the public. And since it's a public art wall, it's the point, right?
Can I ask for clarification on something? Ms. George referenced the library as being major partners with this. Are you in partnership with Cordial Eye?
Well, I was the one that offered them the space on my wall.
Okay. So on the project, but not a business partnership, just you offered the space?
No, we just offered the
Yes.
space.
Right, okay. All right, thank you for clarifying that. Alrighty, so, any other questions on the presentation before I open it up to public comment? Nope, okay, in that case, I'm going to open it up to public comment. I will be, Commissioner Clark, you've very kindly agreed to do the timing. People will please refrain, or keep it to 3 minutes. And we have had people speak before. Can we please have new information, not just a repeat of previous? I know in the past, sometimes people said exactly the same thing that they said before. I think we've all respected and value that information that has come forward, but if you've got new information that you wanted to, or new views, that would be very welcome. Is there anyone that would like to come up? I see a hand going up. Again, if you could sign in, and before you speak, if you could just announce your name, please.
Sign in.
Yes, please. And we don't want, all the commissioners remind me we do have letters we have to go through as well. Don't want to forget those.
Hi. Do I just start?
State your name.
Oh, Jennifer Stratton. I'm an artist and I also teach art in a lot of different places on the Cape, including the Cordial Eye, but also at the Art Museum in Dennis, the Jewett Center for the Art, anywhere that people will have me teach art. So, and I teach kids and adults. And I don't know that what I'm going to say is necessarily new information, but I just felt the need to speak up. The art wall, one thing that I think as the speaker, Mary, presented, that I feel we really need to hear what that wall has done. And I get that. I think you guys all get that. And they're really only asking for another month or two, possibly a month and a half. And I just think to look at what that wall has done and where it has brought, certain things together, like at the high school or with, people in addiction or whatever that is. And honestly, the Cape is such a place for art. We see beautiful art on Cape Cod. We don't really see a lot of graffiti art. And I think that to remember that there's a lot of space for different kinds of art on the Cape, not so much for this type of free graffiti art, And it might be an eyesore for some people, but for some people, it's a real expression. And I taught a class at the Coeur d'Alene a couple of years ago with kids, and we actually did graffiti art, but we took it from the art on the table to making clay graffiti, like sculpture, and then I brought them over to the art wall and, had them experience that. And I mean, I understand what you're saying about the aerosol cans. I feel the same way. I mean, it was a lot of, there's a lot that comes from that you don't want to breathe in too much, but the looks on their face and just to be able to do something like that and to express themselves, I just think that's something that really needs to be taken into account, and that it's really overall great for the community. And it's only for another month and a half, it's not like, I mean, I personally think it's great for longer, but that's what they're asking for. So that's all I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Yes, please.
I would speak.
Yes, please. Could you, if you could, coming up, signing in, and then announcing your name, please.
Okay. I want to speak just as a neighbor.
Your name?
Dawn Boven. I live up the street. I love Hyannis. I have always loved historical houses and I love historic districts. And yet, I love that art wall. I walk on Hyannis a couple of times a week. I really enjoy it. And every time I see the art wall, it just makes me feel happy. I love its size. I've taken pictures of it and I've shared those pictures on social media just to show my friends how proud I am to live here. And I think it speaks highly of Hyannis, that they love art, creativity, they're open to modern art, and that's what graffiti art is, it's modern art. And I think it's beautiful. I think it's a nice splash of color in a beautiful historic town that I love. So I just wanted to give my opinion as a neighbor. I am not opposed to that wall. I think it's gorgeous and it makes me happy.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Someone else?
Hi, I'm Meg Antilla. I was a Main Street resident for 3 years until fairly recently, so just up at 255 Main Street. Also how I became familiar with Coeur d'Alene and the work that they're doing.
Meg Angela, did you say?
Antilla, A-N-T-T-I-L-A.
Thank you.
Sure. I'm an executive producer in video and film. I've done some work locally with some nonprofits. I'm on the board for 2 local nonprofits based in Hyannis. I also had the privilege of creating a video for the capital campaign for the Hyannis Public Library. And I will tell you, as part of that, some of the, just frankly, it's like some of the best footage that we were able to get from that was people engaging with the art wall. And that's like cross generations. It was little kids just getting off a bus and seeing it. It was grandparents working with kids, engaging with it, actually painting and all the things. So I can just say that I've seen it firsthand. It helped tell a really beautiful story. It was really nice to see as a neighbor walking up and down Main Street. And I just can't imagine for just like another month or so to like see that engagement is pretty special. So I just wanted to speak on the record in favor. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? If there's no specific order, whoever gets to the chair. You can put down Coeur d'Alene. It's fine. State your name before you start.
I am William Caleb. I was here, of course, when the wall was originally being instated. If I'm remembering correctly, I was either junior or senior in high school when I was in my junior year of college. The wall has been up for quite a while. I've visited many times with myself, friends, anytime I'm on Main Street. both to paint, with cans, with a brush, or with markers, etc. And I think what the wall contributes to is part of the core of the culture that I recognize on Cape Cod, which is a strong, open community of arts. I think there are galleries, nonprofits, events and traditions, new and old, changing on Cape Cod. If I were to define the culture of arts on Cape Cod, it's more a constant development, a constant evolution. As Cape Cod sees millions of people visiting every year from around the world, and it's inhabited by people from around the world, if we are to have the arts culture of Cape Cod continue to be as lively and as intercommunicating within itself, the avenues for art expression that we have, must adapt this different community. And I think that the art wall presents a very unique way for this to happen. I have checked recently, and it remains the only one in Cape Cod. It remains one of 4 walls like this in Massachusetts and one of 2,400 in the world. It's a rare opportunity that, especially when I was in high school, I wanted so badly that I went through the effort of working with the Corps July and with all of my friends to get it established. And my passion and love for it, as well as theirs, is sustained. In the time that I've gone there, the art that I've seen, always, of course, taking photos and such, what I've seen a great variety of things. I've certainly seen lots of graffiti-style art, lots of stylized words, stylized symbols and such. But I've seen a lot of animal art, I've seen landscape art, I've seen characters, I've seen drawings and paintings of a great manner of styles. I've been there at times when professional artists hired on that third panel were there to speak about their backgrounds and what they were making, to be able to interact with them and with these designs. Is that my time? Well, I made myself clear.
Thank you. I like the ringtone there. Yeah, I'm impressed. I'll have to get you to change that for my alarm in the morning because it's horrible.
Good evening, I'm Christina Bologna. I am a trustee with the Hyannis Public Library. Thank you all for your time this evening. I would like to express my support of the art wall. So I want to reflect and amplify the comments that have been made before me, but I also wanted to talk about something that goes a little bit deeper than just murals or kind of art in our community, and that is just this concept of public art. So community art, it's not just for decoration, it is a declaration for all of the folks who are here, not just one part of our community, but the entire community, and to give them a sense of belonging and expression. So there are a lot of folks that feel invisible in the world and here on Cape Cod, whether it is income levels or backgrounds or disability, income, identity, whatever that may be. And public art is an opportunity for those folks to express themselves, to connect with their community and with others. It breaks down the walls between us. It turns parks, sidewalks, and alleys into places of gathering. It takes stories that have been silenced and paints them 10 feet tall for all to witness. And when the brush is held by the community itself, when young people, elders, immigrants, and longtime locals all shape the narrative, that's when art becomes something even greater. It becomes a mirror reflecting the truth of who we are. The art wall at the library is used by locals, tourists, grandparents, young children, amateurs, and professionals. Many families have enjoyed using the art wall. I have been personally inspired by some of the messages that have been painted there. Seeing new art that's been added at every visit to the library. I've loved seeing the evolution of art on the wall, even when it's not necessarily in alignment with my personal sense of what is art or what is beautiful, or my personal aesthetic. I appreciate the ability of others to express themselves through this medium. And I think that's why we're all here, to say that everyone should have the opportunity to participate, explore, and create in various forms, even if we may not always understand it. Art is more important than we realize, perhaps because we are inherently creative creatures, but we use art not only as personal expression, but also to work through trauma, find a sense of belonging and joy, and connect to others through shared experiences. Public art doesn't require a ticket, it doesn't ask where you came from, it welcomes everyone. It transforms space into shared space, and that is powerful because when people feel they belong in a place, they are more likely to care for it. When people see themselves in the landscape, they are more likely to fight for justice, for beauty, and for each other. So I would like to strongly support this project and continue to create art in our community, regardless of what that may look like. Yeah.
Good timing. I like that. You must have practiced that to get just down to 3 minutes. I'm impressed. I just want to remind people that I did ask earlier if anyone is taping this to please make their presence known. Thank you. Okay, next. Anyone? Just put cordial, or whatever else you want to put.
My name is Sarah Blanford, and I work here in Hyannis. I live on the Outer Cape, but my professional home is here. And my job is behavioral health provider at our local community health center, Harbor Health. And I really appreciate several of the things that were mentioned before me, and I guess just to reiterate from my particular lens as a mental health specialist, that this wall has over time been a source of a point of reference, a point of a reflection back of belonging and representation, probably not of the people that have complained as this is an eyesore, but many other kinds of people from other demographics that I think it was said before, often feel invisible here, but are very much active and vibrant parts of our community. This place, this art wall, is a place of not only expression and representation, but also of healing. And I think Christina mentioned trauma, art as a modality of healing, and particularly here, and I appreciate saying this to this particular governmental body, that historical representation, historical depictions, preservation of history. I appreciate this wall in terms of that as well. Whose history? Whose representation? Whose presence? And this wall expands that. And I really appreciate you supporting it thus far. Thank you. Thank you for your support. And I would very much be so happy to hear that you will support it for another month and a half. So, thank you.
Sarah, just out of curiosity, what is your license?
LICSW.
Okay. Thank you. Just said mental health, put that down.
Thank you.
Okay, next.
name's Brandy Gallerani. I work at Barnstable Schools, but I'm also a resident and a lifelong Cape Codder. And I can come to you with all those other lenses, but I honestly just kind of want to come to you guys as a local nerd. I love Cape Cod. I know way too much about Cape Cod and its history that I inundate my students with regularly, and part of that is our rich history as an artistic community. And we see this across so many different modalities of art. You know, modern American drama was invented essentially and has its real backbone from P-Town. We have history of a variety of different writers, of different artists of so many different modalities. And I really just want to come here to say, if this is a historic commission and our job is to preserve the history in this community, part of doing that is giving our community tools to express themselves through art and to continue that legacy as a historic community. Thank you.
Thank you. I see some people who haven't spoken. Don't miss your chance. Please do. If you, same thing, if you could sign it and then announce your name, please.
Good evening. My name's Owen Fletcher. I'm a resident of Osterville.
Fletcher, did you say?
Fletcher, F-L-E-T.
Fletcher.
Ooh, I must be mumbling. I can raise my voice and be clearer too. I'm also a board member of Cordial Eye. And so I've been to a few of these, as you guys have discussed. Public art in general, this art wall in particular. And so I'm not gonna repeat what other people have said, but I think that what the art wall represents and what it allows children to do, or just members of the community to do in expressing themselves, is extremely important. What I do want to add is that in listening to a lot of these conversations, I know that you're giving your time because you care about the historic district, and it's a sacrifice, and you're volunteering, and it's not easy. I know that you all probably have very defined views as to what the historic district should look like and the historic character you're trying to protect. I would like to ask you to really consider, when you're dealing with public art, being content neutral. I can hear people trying very hard to be understanding, even if they don't feel like some of the things on the art wall are things that they appreciate. I can be kind of conservative. I don't know how much I appreciate them all the time, but I don't need to hear more than educators and people in the library and people like Mary and Anastasia, who I believe in enough to spend my time away from my family like you're doing tonight, being a part of that community and trying to help. And so I'd ask, please don't make your decision based on whether you think graffiti is art or whether I also like sharks and dolphins and some of the other things, but whether, I'm not trying to be in jest, I'm saying like, you know, it may not look like Chatham. It may be more vibrant in what some people in Barnstable might think is appropriate in art, but like, please don't make your decision on whether you like people doing art with aerosol cans versus paintbrushes, or whether you like people graffitiing rather than painting things. I listen to all kinds of music. I love music. I also listen to hip hop. I can remember a lot. And I remember some of you saying how dark the art on the wall is and how you don't appreciate it. Art reflects life as well. And if people are expressing themselves that way, that's part of the community. And whether people are dressed the way that I'm dressed coming from work or not, that doesn't mean that they don't appreciate all different kinds of art. And so I'd ask, when you're making the decision on this and the public art guidelines, that you really consider that it's a large community with a lot of different viewpoints. And please keep that in mind when making your decision.
And I can assure you that any decision made will be content neutral. We all have different things that we like and different preferences, and everybody says what makes the world interesting. People are different. Okay, anyone else? But it's fair comment about contract neutrality, totally agree. Good evening.
Hi.
Hi, if you could sign in please and then state your name. You could just
I
put
don't know
cordial,
where-
just put
It's not really cordial, I'm
Oh, okay.
gonna put library, okay?
Oh, okay, that's fine.
Because that is my interest.
Okay,
So,
no problem.
my name's John Richmond. I'm here because I've worked with Antonia for about the past year. And actually she hosts the Hyannis Historical Society, which is smaller than the number of people in this room. But one thing that comes through is there are unique challenges to this library, as you all know, and Antonia has worked very hard to be as inclusive and welcoming to any aspect of the community that she can think of. And that has been, I think, the goal of the art wall. And as far as talking about it as public art, you guys are already have the thing in line to grapple with it and deal with it on its own. This, I don't really like the art. I've been going there a long time. I will say, to me, it's always at least been cheerful. It's been a splash of color, which to me is almost like welcoming to kids. Not that they even paint on it, but it's almost like the cover of a children's book. It's only for 6 weeks. I have to say that to cancel it 6 weeks from the time that it's going to expire anyway, I'm struggling to find a better word than petty. I think you should let it run its course. You have the debate ahead of you for public art. You have much to decide. Just let it end and move on. That's all I have to say. Thank you.
Anyone else?
I know that we are supposed to be
I can
contacting.
ask you to sign it.
That's okay.
Oh, you already know, good, okay, got it, okay.
I just wanted to read some of the messages that have been put on this wall that I personally have found extremely inspiring. The natural way to be is confident. Everybody is welcome in our garden. Joy, play, inspire, love, together, family. I'm going through changes. Stay grateful. Be here now.
Thank you. Anyone else? Don't be shy. If anyone else wants to talk, you're welcome to do so. Nope? Okay. All right, so we'll leave public comment. Did you want to say anything?
No, I'm just
So I'm gonna leave public comment open until we go to a vote on it. Commissioners, how do you feel?
Our job is not to determine social issues, okay? Our job is to determine if math materials fit into the historic district. And for 3.5 years or 3 years, every time you guys all come, you turn it into art and social issues. It's not about that. You know, for me, it has been the size of that on the building, and I've put up with it for 3 years. Has nothing, I don't like graffiti art, like many people have said in their public comment, but that's me, all right? Jack said, we wish you had more art. My objection is not the art, okay? I love the idea of the kids, I still love the idea of the kids. And we're not involved in the social issues with this art wall. It's strictly the mass of the size of this thing, the materials, and does it fit into the historic district? So, and I still don't think it fits into the historic district. 6 weeks, 5 weeks, 6 months. I just don't think it fits into the historic district.
Okay. Any other commissioner have any comments you'd like to make? Okay, go ahead.
Thank you. Mine are more towards the library, but I think that's a big part of the project. And I'm thrilled with, people know that, but the presentation the library made, we thought was one of the finest ones that had ever been before us. I want to state for the record that I too have served as a trustee at the library. I think their mission is amazing, and that they've thrived and have the ability to do what they're going to do coming forward. To me, the weight of the library behind this is significant. And I've seen a lot of the young people's projects that have gone on over the last 40 years there, and welcoming the homeless, welcoming the disenfranchised. I think the weight of the library really impacts the way I feel about this. And I too have seen the children there and the grandparents there. And I'm a grandparent, and I have children of that age that have just shared the joy that's been there. So I struggle with the thought of stopping that now in the middle of the summer, when it brings people from everywhere around the world here. And if it's different for a little while longer, it's shown that it's a little different here in Hyannis, as well as all the great history that we have here. You all know I am absolutely about this history, and want to hold firm to following the guidelines. And from what I see, for July and the library have followed the guidelines, and as we set them forth, and to continue doing what they said they would do. They went to great lengths to update their surveillance cameras and their monitoring the way we asked them to. I don't think they have shirked anything that we have asked them to do. So I'm in favor of extending through the end of the season.
Anyone else? Okay.
Can I make just one more brief comment? I understand the simplicity and the temptation to say that this isn't about social issues, but it's very much evidence-based that our built environment has strong impacts on social infrastructure. And I think you all know that, and that's part of why you do the work that you do, because you believe that the protection of this historic character contributes to our social well-being. And I agree with that. I may not always like all of the things, but I can be on board with that. So I think we need to, it's not that we want to come in here and make this about social stuff. The built environment is very much tied to community well-being, and public art by its nature is also strongly related to that, and we have to come here for public art. I think if we all had a different option for how we would pursue public art, we'd probably all choose it, right? This has been hard work that we've done together, right? And so this is not out of any desire to come in and make it social. The work that we do is social by its nature, and I just wanted to put that forward.
Anyone else before I have a few words? Nope. So, we've been doing this for a few years now. And I won't deny that I have been disappointed that one of the guidelines we had was we were assured, and I believe this was the original, you had to do the same thing, monitor it daily. And yet we had a time, a couple times to come back, and first time fixed it, no problem. Second time, it got fixed. We were given assurances that there would be stencils that would be used, but I didn't really find it's.
There's been very little need for them, but they exist.
They exist, but they haven't always been used. Hey, cereal boxes are fine with me, but they haven't always been used, and sometimes it goes for months where they haven't been used. I struggled with that. I also struggled with one particular incident, which we know where we called you back, where there's complaint about we don't go on content except for when it's said there are two things that are not protected, and certain words were used, and that did eventually get corrected, even though we brought it up in January, it didn't get corrected until May, I believe.
Oh, that's not correct.
Yeah.
It was a couple weeks later. Yeah.
The whole thing, though. Anyway.
What was, can you clarify what the whole thing
It
is?
was, half of it was with, taken out, yes, it was a spray can, it wasn't stencil. But I am very much in favor of art, and I think you know that. I do have an arts background, and I have promoted art and supported it for decades. And so far, I have voted in favor, only once not voted in favor of your projects. That was simply because you had two options. And I simply liked the second option more. So, and sadly, that didn't, I don't think that carried, if I remember correctly. It still wasn't enough. But I did vote in favor of it because I do support promotion of art very strongly. It has a place in the community for many reasons. For art. But anyway, I also, we want to be aware that it's not about content, it's about other things that you mentioned about size. I will say size, not something I particularly liked, but it is what it is. So we need to, almost forgot the letters. We have to read the letters. I am going to pass these around. I asked everybody to remind me that we had letters today. All right. So, pardon?
She looks at me.
Okay. So I'm going to read the first one. I'm going to pass these around. Dear Historic Commission, this is from Tamora Israel. My name is Tamora Israel and I work in Hyannis. Thank you for the work you do on this committee. I am writing in support of the Hyannis Community Art Wall because the artistic community that uses this wall includes locals, tourists, grandparents, young children, amateurs, and professionals. Respectfully, Tamora Israel. It'll come back to me. Can I ask, would you mind reading one?
Pronouncing it right, Satchel?
Pardon?
Satchel Douglas.
Just spell it.
S-A-T-C-H-E-L.
I would say Satchel.
Satchel.
Yeah.
Satchel Douglas. This is from Satchel Douglas. Hi, I'm writing in support of the Hyannis Community Art Wall. I live in Hyannis and frequently pass by the wall. It is a great splash of color and vibrance and encourages one to stop and ponder the meaning of the art. I only wish there were more murals around town. I especially appreciate the clear posed guidelines for artists to add their art to the wall. Not sure about posed guidelines for artists to add their art to the wall because I think it encourages responsibility among young adults while still allowing free expression. Please extend the approval of the community art wall and ideally extend the duration between review cycles to reduce the administrative burden on everyone. Thanks, Satchel Douglas.
Okay, thank you very much for doing that. Laura, would you mind reading one? Yeah, if you would mind passing that down.
This is from Christina Bologna. I am writing in support of the Hyannis Community Art Wall located at the Hyannis Public Library. As a trustee of the library, I have loved seeing the evolution of the art wall on the art wall, the art on the art wall, even when it's not in alignment with my own aesthetics. I appreciate the ability of others to express themselves through this medium. Art is more important than we realize, perhaps because we are inherently creative creatures, but we use art not only as a personal expression, but also to work through trauma, find a sense of belonging and joy, and connect to others through shared experiences. The existing historic guidelines reference Hyannis as, quote, a lively, diverse commercial district, unquote. Historic yet contemporary, and the most outstanding characteristics of the districts are its variety and the lively interest created by independent use of ownership. In accordance with the Hyannis historic guidelines, the wall is removable and reversible, and not a section of the building that is not historic, and will soon be removed for renovation. This wall is used on field trips by schools such as Barnstable High School and Life Cape Cod, a center for adults with disability. It is vital to continue to support this important aspect of our community as the Cape continues to change and evolve. It's important that we still make space for our local community to connect, express, and inspire. Additionally, the art wall has been found to reduce graffiti in area, saving community resources for cleaning and vandalism. Thank you for your time, and I look forward to continuing to see the art wall after the library renovations for many years to come. Pastor Christina.
Commissioner Clark, can I possibly impose on you to read this last one, if you could pass it down to Commissioner Clark, please, so I keep it for the record. Thank you.
This is from Starfish. To whom it may concern, I am writing in support of the Hyannis Public Library's Art Wall, a collaborative project with the Cordial Eye Gallery that represents more than just color on a wall. It stands for equity, inclusion, and community connection. As someone who works closely with artists, youth, and people with disabilities on Cape Cod, I know firsthand the power of accessible creative expression to foster connection, resilience, and mental wellness. Virginia Woolf once wrote, "To pick up a pen or a paintbrush is to refuse to die." That idea isn't just poetic, it's supported by research. A 2024 study by Scannell, published in Cities and Health, found that exposure to community-based public art installations significantly reduced stress, anxiety, and negative mood, offering mental health benefits comparable to a green space. These effects are especially vital for low-income populations who often lack access to traditional therapeutic spaces. Beyond individual well-being, the presence of public art directly impacts community safety. The University of Michigan's Firearm Injury Prevention Research Center reported that Detroit neighborhoods with international public art installations experience roughly 40% fewer violent incidents. Similarly, research conducted by Garvin et al. 2013 and Kondo et al. 2016 in Philadelphia showed that community greening and building remediation interventions that often include mural making led to an 8 to 39% decrease in gun violence. These are not just beautification projects, they are public safety strategies. Our public art, like the Hyannis Art Wall, offers an accessible space to all for creative catharsis. As Mohat et al. 2013 have shown, community art projects build social connection and hope, especially among people navigating mental illness, addiction, or systematic marginalizations. For many, contributing to or simply witnessing these projects affirms their presence and value in a space that might otherwise ignore or erase them. Our community art wall has already had a positive impact on the community, according to the Cape Cod Times. 2 12-year-old boys were found spray painting racial slurs on one of the buildings. After the boys were told about the consequences of their actions and redirected to the art wall, there hasn't been any recurrence since the June 2023 incident. Cape Cod has long been framed through a narrow aesthetic, quaint, homogenized, nostalgic. But our real community is more complex, more colorful, and more diverse than that lens allows. This wall doesn't erase history, it expands it. It invites new stories into our shared space and future. To remove it would send the message that only certain identities and experiences belong here. I urge the Historical Commission to reconsider any action that would result in the removal of this vital community project. Let it stand as a testament to the community that we are becoming creative, inclusive, and rooted in care. Sincerely, Tish.
Thank you very much for reading that out. So, There's a petition also that oh, thank you so much. I think those are the only 4 letters in the others. So, I'd like to voice my support for the Hyannis Community Art Wall located at the Hyannis Public Library. The existing historic guidelines reference Hyannis as a lively, diverse commercial district, historic yet contemporary, and the most outstanding characteristics of the district are its variety and the lively interest created by independent use and ownership. In accordance with the historic guidelines, the wall is removable and reversible on a section of the building that is not historic and will soon be removed for renovation. This wall is used on field trips by schools such as Barnstable High School and Life Cape Cod, a center for disabled adults. The artistic community that uses this wall includes locals, tourists, grandparents, young children, amateurs, and professionals. Many families have enjoyed using the Hyannis Community Art Wall during Hyannis Open Streets. Additionally, it's been found to reduce graffiti in the area, saving community resources from cleaning vandalism. This has, it has quite a few, oh, actually, this is actually typed out.
Who was that from?
This is a petition that was delivered, I don't know who delivered.
That came via email about 4:30 today.
Petition?
A lot of these came at the last minute today. Should count it. There's, you know, a page and a half of names. From Barnstable, Centerville, Mashpee, Yarmouth, Dennis, Brewster, Philadelphia. So we'll enter that into the record. You have one, didn't you?
Yeah, well, I have all of
Oh, you have all those, okay. All righty. Any other comments from the commissioners? How about staff?
No, nothing else.
No? Okay, so the question is, I mean, the other thing I point out is we don't really know for certain when the library is going, when there's going to be a demolition. We know there's in the process, as we said, going desk to desk at the moment, trying to work it out. But we don't have an actual date on that, so it could be September 1st, it could be October, it could be November,
Just clarify that the construction fencing is definitively going up.
Fencing is going up.
Oh, okay.
So it's not that the building is coming down in September, but the construction fencing is going up, rendering it inaccessible to the public. So that would be a good time to take it down.
When is that going up?
September 1st is
That is
the
September 1st. And that's for certain?
That
is a date that's set, that's a date that's set, okay.
As certain as certain can be. The building itself probably won't come down until end of December-ish, but that's.
Okay. All right, so, this is.
I do have one question.
Yes.
I'm sorry, excuse me.
Sure, no problem.
Way back when we were first entertaining the request for this, it was prior to the definition of as we were coached and educated on public art.
Mm-hmm.
And so we gave a period of time, is that correct, that we gave a period of time?
Moratorium.
Moratorium then was imposed. If we had last year at some time had that helpful information about public art and content neutral, and this application had been approved when it was submitted, what would the period of time have been that their approval would have been for?
I don't think it would have changed.
No, but I mean, it was short. I mean,
It was 6 months.
It was six months.
For 3 years ago, we said every 6 months.
Every 6 months, okay, thank you.
And that was what, it to be reviewed every 6 months
Every
or
6 months.
earlier if the, I can read it out, thank you. Earlier if there were complaints. Grant certificate from January 15th, 2025 to July 15th, 2025. I can read out the restrictions, the guidelines, whatever people wanted. I think we all know what they were. But it was, we had worked out every 6 months as a regular basis, regardless of complaints or not. Did anyone want these read out, or we go, okay? Okay. The public hearing on this application was opened on April 19th, 2023. That's where it's been. After consideration of the testimony given and materials submitted by the applicant and members of the public, the commission found the proposed community art well would appropriately contribute to the historic character of the Hyannis Main Street Waterfront Historic District. Commission considered the design, color, size, location, and the context of the proposed art project, found it to be appropriate for the protection and preservation of the district based on the finding, granted the certificate of appropriate subject to the following 13 conditions. Okay? So I suppose the proposal here is to extend for a month, extend for 2 months. You can do a moratorium, you can do, whichever you prefer. Or we can, you can also do we have the certificate of appropriateness, both approval and denial. Would one of the commissioners like to make a motion with regard to the 4 July and Hyannis Public Library Community Wall Art Project at 401 Main Street, Hyannis, map 326, parcel 013, with regard to the extension for grant of a certificate of appropriateness for whatever time you care to propose?
What happens September 1st?
Well, the scaffold,
Comes down.
the walls, well, no, it's not coming down.
It comes down
The
September
the
1st.
protection fencing and that is still going up.
The wall is coming down.
Well, the idea is
Not
the building, the art.
Murals come down.
The murals come down.
murals come down
September
September
1st.
2nd.
The building will be rendered inaccessible to the public as of September 1st. So that we just think that it makes sense
To take
at
it
that
down.
point to dismantle the project.
But the fencing goes up, but the walls are not coming down, you said until maybe December or
The
something.
panels are removable from the wall, so they're not, it's not the wall itself. So I mean, we could remove the panels at that time.
The art panels will be removed September 1st.
So the art panels will be removed September
The
1st.
construction, that could go on for months and months and months.
Yes, but if the art panels come down, then that's the end of the art.
September 1st is the end of it.
September 1st.
Right? It's-
And you can make that conditional, that was will be taken care of, or it will come back.
I think the condition would be they come down September 1st and no other option after that.
Okay, are you happy with that?
Yeah, I mean, the public won't be able to access it after the 1st, so the point of this wall will be kind of like null after that point.
Well, I get
But
that,
will you
but
be able
it
to
still
access it on
comes down.
September 1st to take them down?
Oh, I mean, we'll take it down before the construction fencing goes, we'll make sure either
Not before the construction, I want it down if we.
before the fencing goes up. So September 1st is like the drop dead dates.
That's when
So
they come
they will
down.
be gone
That's
either
when they'll come
before or by that date.
By that date,
Okay,
by
so
September 1st.
if you're all right with that, I will make the motion if that, or would you?
That's fine, as long as it's down to September.
September 1st.
Okay, so I'm going to make, with regard to the 4 July Hyannis Public Library Community Wall Art Project, 401 Main Street, Hyannis, map 326, parcel 013, with regard to the extension for grant of a certificate of appropriateness, that we, under the understanding that the protective fencing is being put up so there will no longer be access to the
Can we
library.
just
I don't
not
care about
include
the
that?
fencing, just
On
it comes
September
down
1st,
September.
I wouldn't clarify whether there's a construction fence or not. I would just keep it simple.
Just September 1st.
Okay, so it comes down by September 1st. And
Regardless.
if not, it comes back to us, if for some
No,
reason.
it comes down
It comes down.
September 1st.
Okay, it comes
That's it.
down September
That's
1st.
it.
Okay, so it comes down
Down
by
Sep-
September 1st.
Yes,
Okay,
September 1st, that's it.
That
Regardless of
was
the,
where I was going with that.
okay, that's fine. Okay,
by September
all right,
1st.
by September 1st. Okay,
Simple, that's it.
Okay, I like simple. Okay, is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Commissioner Wentworth. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, Commissioner Wentworth.
Aye.
Commissioner Kay.
No.
No? Okay. So Commissioner Doherty.
Aye.
Commissioner Clark.
Abstain.
Abstain, okay. Commissioner Brennan?
Abstain.
Abstain. Okay, so we don't have it either way because we've got, correct me if I'm wrong, we've got 2 for
2 yays, 1 no, 2 abstentions. So, Madam Chair, we voted.
Hold on, we're just gonna work it out. So we've got how many nays?
1.
And we've got abstention 2, and we got a yay.
2 yays.
2 yays.
2, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, that makes 6. Either way, it's not gonna carry.
Can you read back the motion once again?
Motion to extend until September 1st, 2025, panels to be removed by September 1st, 2025, seconded by Perry. Perry's a yay, Jackson nay, Tom's a yay, Matt's an abstain, Laura's an abstain, and Cheryl has yet to be determined.
But no matter which way I vote, it won't make any difference if nothing carries. What happens if nothing carries?
It doesn't pass.
Doesn't pass.
The permit is expired.
The permit is expired. Okay, that's what I thought. I'm gonna say yay, but it does mean it's expired. Anyone want to change their vote? We good?
I can reconsider. I just, with everything that we've gone through on this, I just want to make sure that there's no coming back September 2nd or September 1st thinking they want to keep it up. And that's my concern. That's why I wanted to make sure it was read back. Because if it comes down September 1st, I could consider changing it, but I just want to make sure that there's no, oh, you can come back if it, I think we're done with this, and I think we just need to.
Well, that's why it was made concrete, that it
move
comes
it
down
on
by
to that.
September 1st.
And then I would like to see if we could do a revote on that then. I would consider changing my vote to yes.
You can change your vote.
You want to change to a
yes.
Okay, so that carries by September 1st.
September 1st. No coming back, no other
Okay.
conversation.
The second part to that, right? You guys did the first part.
Yeah, we did the first part, we did the
We
second.
did the first part, so fine. We don't actually have to do findings and certificate of appropriateness.
Well, they already have a certificate of
Yeah,
appropriateness.
good call.
We're just extending it.
I think the extension
Make
is
sure
good.
we're good.
Yeah, I don't think we need to do the whole, that thing. We're legal, right?
Yeah.
Okay, thought so. Yeah. Okay. Okay, let's give them a moment.
Madam Chair, while we're given a moment, may I just make a mention about one matter not reasonably anticipated by the chair, perhaps? So a lot of discussion that I've been hearing about enforcement and talking with Corey about enforcement. We were game planning, maybe the thought would be bring the building commissioner in August.
Excellent
To
idea.
have a discussion about, what the proper process is and work with him maybe to enhance that
Can
process.
we invite him?
Yep, I've already talked to him, he's very willing to come in, just wanted
Excellent.
to chat with you guys first.
I'm not gonna be able to make the first meeting in August, if we could do the second, that would be great. That would be awesome, thanks.
Did you decide on a date with Brian?
It sounds like the second meeting in August, he
They have
said,
the 20th, so.
That's excellent. I like that.
Second meeting.
Second meeting.
August 20th.
Okay. Okay. All right. Thank you for doing that, Jim. Design guidelines, regulations. And even though Neil's not here, I want to thank him for all the hard work he put into, to some of the additions that he put in. It's nice to have that legalese in there. And a lot of hard work has gone into it, so how do people feel about it? I personally think it's fine now.
I did too.
Yeah?
I thought it was fine.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's fine. I've got my concerns from before.
What page are we on?
Well, just in the general concept of trying to come up with a procedure or guideline for public
Well,
for
in order-
the historic district.
In order to put this together, we waited till we had the legal department review it and do their recommendations. And then we had, remember we have the subcommittee putting all this together. This is only page 46, that's all that's left.
Right.
Then we waited for Cape Cod Commission, all which was important input, really important input. And then back to legal, and then also our own commissioner, who is an attorney, went over it. I mean, and you have to also remember that the subcommittee is going to be meeting every quarter to tweak, because there's gonna be things that change and things we totally failed to address that we didn't realize. So.
Or things that just don't work.
Yeah, what were we thinking? So it's going to be a quarterly review, so that it will be constantly tweaked. But what we wanted to do is to say that if we're okay with it, then we ask that this be sent to the planning department so that they can review it, and then we have a joint meeting with them. And they may have comments on it as well, if they want to tweak it.
I think we should send it to planning and see what they say
Yeah,
and come back and let us review it.
yeah. I mean, we could beat it to death, but I think, you know, I think it's where it is.
Yeah, I'm okay with
Yeah,
that, sending it
it's
out.
not passing it, let's get it to
Let's get it
planning.
done.
So-
It becomes a yo-yo.
Yes, it's the bad penny that keeps coming.
Yeah, no,
Okay,
that's fine.
so if we're okay with it, I'm gonna make a motion myself on this, that we approve this as our proposal to be sent to the planning department for review, comment, tweaking.
Planning board.
Planning board, yeah. We've already got planning at the end of the table, but.
We got the planning department already done.
Planning board. Everything goes through you, and
Yeah.
it's seconded by Commissioner Kay.
I'm glad you came tonight.
Okay, Commissioner Cronin.
Aye.
Commissioner Clark.
Aye.
Commissioner Doherty.
Aye.
Commissioner Kay.
Aye.
Commissioner Wentworth.
Aye.
I also say aye. And so that passes. Also, Commissioner Clark, thank you very much for doing the timing tonight. I like your ringtone, but anyway. Does our valuable town council liaison have anything to put in? Okay. In that case. Oh, minutes, July 2nd minutes. Anyone not here for July 2nd?
Motion to approve is written.
Okay, is there a second?
Second.
Second. Commissioner Cronin.
Aye.
Commissioner Clark.
Aye.
Commissioner Doherty. Commissioner Kay.
Aye.
Commissioner Wentworth. I'll just say aye. Now the fun part. Somebody like to make a motion for the adjournment.
So moved.
Oh, yes.
3 that time. Seconded by Commissioner Wentworth. Commissioner Wentworth.
Aye.
Commissioner Kay. Commissioner Doherty.
Aye.
Commissioner Clark.
Aye.
Commissioner Cronin.
Aye.
I also say aye. Thank you very much, guys. You did a great job tonight.